So talented. He's nonstop movement and his footwork and everything. It's so different than anybody else.
And you could see the combinations, the way he was throwing punches. He just didn't have an answer to it because he's never been exposed to that level of technique.
The boxing community is still reeling after the jaw-dropping scene that unfolded at Madison Square Garden. Shakur Stevenson's performance against Teofimo Lopez sent shockwaves through the sport, and Joe Rogan's stunned reaction only added fuel to the conversation. What many expected to be a tightly contested showdown between two top-tier fighters quickly turned into a lopsided display of pure dominance, leaving fans and analysts alike struggling to process what they had just witnessed. On January 31st, Stevenson didn't simply outpoint Lopez, he completely controlled him from start to finish. The fight became a showcase of skill so overwhelming that it sparked debate about whether Lopez was ever truly competitive in the matchup. Rogan, watching live, was visibly amazed as Stevenson systematically neutralized one of boxing's most dangerous names, making the bout look far easier than anyone anticipated. As the rounds passed, Rogan reportedly shared his disbelief online, reacting in real time to the one-sided nature of the fight. He expressed that Stevenson was operating on an entirely different level, making Lopez appear lost against his precision and ring IQ. That sentiment echoed what viewers around the world were seeing, a flawless blend of defense, timing, and offense that left Lopez without any effective response. Before even getting into the viral reactions, the numbers alone explain how dominant Stevenson was. The judges' scorecards told a clear story, with all three officials scoring the fight 119-109 in Stevenson's favor. It was almost a complete shutout, with Stevenson taking 11 of the 12 rounds and Lopez managing to secure just one, round 8. On every card, to truly understand how shocking this result was, you have to realize that no one expected a fight between two world champions to look this uneven. From the opening round, Shakur Stevenson separated himself in every measurable way. He consistently outperformed Teofimo Lopez across the stat sheet, throwing more than 600 punches over 12 rounds while staying remarkably accurate and defensively sound. Stevenson's jab was flawless throughout the night. It repeatedly snapped Lopez's head back and completely disrupted any chance of momentum. Lopez never found a rhythm, and the frustration in his corner became obvious. Cameras caught his father yelling between rounds, questioning where his power had gone, a moment that quickly spread across social media. It perfectly illustrated how neutralized and ineffective Lopez felt against Shakur's superior technique and ring awareness. As the fight unfolded, social media erupted. Fans were stunned by what they were seeing, with reactions pouring in from all corners of the boxing world. One widely shared post described the bout as a public boxing lesson, emphasizing how little resistance Lopez was able to offer. Another fan admitted they believed Lopez had a real chance, only to watch Shakur make the gap in skill painfully obvious. These reactions echoed the same disbelief reportedly expressed by Joe Rogan as he followed the fight live. What made Rogan's commentary especially compelling was his background. With decades spent studying combat sports, training martial arts, and calling the biggest UFC events, Rogan brings a trained eye to striking, footwork, and distance management. Throughout the fight, he reportedly broke down the subtleties of Stevenson's performance online, pointing out details many casual viewers may have missed. Rogan highlighted how Shakur used angles to force Lopez into missing by inches, then immediately punished him with sharp counters. According to Rogan, Stevenson's control of distance was on another level, baiting attacks, creating empty swings, and responding with precision every single time. That analysis resonated strongly with hardcore boxing fans who appreciate technical excellence, even if others were hoping for more knockdowns. By the middle rounds, the damage was clear. Around round 6, Lopez was bleeding from a cut near his left eye caused by the steady stream of clean jabs. He tried everything to change the momentum, switching stances, attacking the body, attempting to fight inside, but nothing worked. Each adjustment was calmly shut down. Stevenson either slipped the punches entirely or smothered Lopez before anything meaningful could land. Rogan has often discussed the difference between good strikers and truly elite ones, and this fight was a textbook example. He was reportedly fascinated by how Stevenson could stand directly in front of Lopez and still remain nearly untouchable through subtle head movement and precise footwork. Some observers even noted Rogan comparing Shakur's defense to Floyd Mayweather in his prime, an enormous compliment. That comparison isn't far-fetched, considering Stevenson spent time learning directly from Mayweather and has clearly adopted many of his defensive principles. Adding to the moment was the presence of Terence Crawford at ringside. The cameras frequently caught Crawford smiling and nodding as Stevenson executed the game plan perfectly, making small adjustments round after round. After the final bell, Crawford joined Shakur in the ring, creating a powerful image for boxing fans. With that win, Stevenson became just the 25th fighter in history to capture world titles in 4 different weight classes. Notably, Crawford himself was the most recent fighter to achieve that milestone, making the moment even more meaningful. Joe Rogan has often emphasized the importance of mentorship in combat sports, and this was a perfect example of that philosophy in action. He was reportedly moved by the respect and camaraderie between Crawford and Stevenson as they celebrated the historic achievement together. Rogan expressed admiration for the moment, describing it as a clear sign of greatness and a glimpse into boxing's future. This victory was more than just another win, it was a statement. Shakur Stevenson firmly announced himself as a true pound-for-pound elite. Critics had previously labeled him as too cautious or overly defensive, but this performance answered those doubts. While the fight lacked dramatic knockouts, the level of control and mastery on display was undeniable for anyone who understands the sport. Rogan has long defended fighters who prioritize winning over entertainment, recognizing that careers and legacies are built on results. He reportedly pushed back against complaints from casual fans, explaining that dominance doesn't always come in highlight reel finishes. Making a dangerous, proven champion look helpless for 12 straight rounds requires extraordinary skill. Statistics back that up. Lopez, known for his explosive power, landed very few clean shots. CompuBox numbers showed an unusually low connection rate on power punches, shocking many viewers. By round 10, even the broadcast team was struggling to describe the gap, with some likening it to an adult sparring with a child, a harsh comparison, but one that captured the disparity. Rogan has often said he enjoys watching elite defensive fighters because their mastery is rarely appreciated by the average viewer. He reportedly praised Stevenson's ability to make incredibly difficult techniques look effortless, noting how rare that level of control truly is. According to Rogan, staying in range while repeatedly making a dangerous opponent miss is one of the hardest things to do in boxing. The aftermath of the fight sparked intense debate. Some questioned whether Shakur's style could make him the face of boxing, arguing that casual fans crave chaos and knockouts. Others pointed out that Floyd Mayweather built the biggest pay-per-view career in boxing history using a similar approach. Rogan has addressed this exact debate many times, acknowledging the tension between hardcore appreciation and mainstream appeal. He reportedly suggested that while adding a fence could help build stardom, consistent wins over elite opponents matter most when careers are judged years later. This win over Lopez was the signature victory missing from Stevenson's resume. Lopez entered the fight with major wins over fighters like Vasily Lomachenko and Josh Taylor, giving him undeniable credibility. The fact that Shakur didn't just beat him but dominated him elevated the victory to another level. Rogan has always stressed that defeating top-level competition is what separates good fighters from truly great ones. He was reportedly thrilled to see Stevenson rise to the occasion on the biggest stage of his career. In Rogan's view, this was the performance that changed everything, proof that Shakur belongs among boxing's elite. At the same time, the loss raised serious questions about Teofimo Lopez's future. Lopez has experienced dramatic highs and lows throughout his career, and this defeat may be the toughest yet because it wasn't close. He was outclassed. Rogan has spoken often about the mental challenges fighters face after losses like this, expressing sympathy while still giving full credit to the winner. His perspective reportedly acknowledged Lopez's heart and talent while recognizing that sometimes a fighter simply runs into someone better. Now, attention shifts to what comes next for Shakur Stevenson. Speculation is already swirling about potential matchups at 140 pounds and even future moves up in weight. Promoter Eddie Hearn has begun discussing major opportunities that could open up following such a decisive win. Rogan, who enjoys analyzing both the competitive and business sides of combat sports, was reportedly excited about the possibilities ahead, emphasizing that the real test now is facing other elite fighters. The performance also fueled conversations about the resurgence of American boxing. With fighters like Stevenson, Terence Crawford, and Jaron Ennis leading the charge, many believe the US is entering a new golden era. Rogan has been vocal about wanting to see American fighters reclaim dominance on the global stage, and this fight felt like a major step in that direction. In the end, the victory cemented Shakur Stevenson as one of the very best fighters in the world, regardless of weight class. His performance wasn't just impressive, it was historic.